All right, so Adam Driver. Intense, right? Like, about to completely lose it in, like, every role.
Yeah, pretty much his trademark.
But what about Adam Driver? In a quiet, introspective play, off-Broadway, we're going deep on Hold On to Me, Darling, and let me tell you, that title's just the beginning.
Definitely an interesting choice, going with this kind of play. He's working with Kenneth Lonergan.
Oh, right.
And Lonergan is known for dialogue and characters that are just, like, so nuanced, you know?
Totally. This is our youth. Perfect example.
Yeah.
But this review, it makes me wonder, is Lonergan using Driver's, like, whole persona in a way that kind of flips those expectations?
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, though, what's the play even about?
Okay, so picture this. Adam Driver playing strings. He's this famous country music star, but, like, he's struggling. His mom died, and his whole life, it's all about fame, and he's questioning everything.
Whoa, that's really different.
Totally different side of him.
And it seems like the reviewer picked up on that, too. They said Driver's performance had, like, a quiet bafflement to it. Existential muddle, even. Not exactly the explosive energy we're used to.
Exactly. There's even a scene where he's just, like, in his underwear on stage.
Wait, what?
But even then, it's not about shock value. The review says Driver's subtlety, that's the story here. It's a man who's used to, you know, being in control, having this image, and now he's hit with something he can't control at all.
Like Lonergan saying, hey, there's more to this guy than you thought.
100%. And that's kind of how we see celebrities, right? We think we know them, but there's always more going on.
So we've got Driver doing something new here, but what about the other characters? Who's he acting with? What are they like?
Well, the reviewer really focused on these 3 women in Strings to Life.
Okay.
First, you've got Nancy. She's a massage therapist.
Okay.
And she's ambitious.
Ambitious how?
Like, maybe even dangerous.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, the review kind of hinted that she might be after more than just giving Strings a good massage, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Like maybe she's after his money or something.
That makes sense.
But the thing is, she's not just like a stereotypical gold digger.
Oh.
Yeah, the play actually gives you these little glimpses of, like, her own vulnerabilities, which is interesting.
It's always better when those kind of morally ambiguous characters have some depth to them.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about the other two? There's, like, Jimmy, his assistant, right? And then a cousin, Essie, I think.
You got it. And this is where the reviewer was just gushing about how good Lonergan is at writing these, like, tangled relationships.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, his loyalty to Strings, it's almost, like, unnerving.
Really?
It feels like it could easily tip into something kind of creepy.
Oh, wow.
But the writing and the acting, apparently, keeps it from getting too cliche.
I like that. I'm always down for some subtext.
Oh, there's plenty.
And Essie, what's her deal?
She's the one who really shakes things up for Strings, it seems like.
Over, like, how so?
She's described as being, like, very direct, very honest, but with this, like, hidden core of steel.
Oh, I like her already.
Right. The reviewer loved the actress playing her.
Who is that?
Adelaide Clements.
Okay.
Especially in the scenes where she's, like, going head-to-head with Strings.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, there was this one line the reviewer pulled out. They called it a gleeful volley of truth-telling bitchiness, which honestly, that made me laugh just reading it.
Oh, man. I can only imagine what Driver's face must be like during that.
I don't know, right?
Speaking of things, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
What about this third act twist? You mentioned that earlier.
Oh, right.
Gotta know more about that.
Okay, no spoilers.
Okay, fine.
But basically, it's this whole thing with a family secret that comes out.
Juicy.
Yeah, the reviewer said they were caught off guard by it at first, but they ultimately decided it worked, mostly because the cast and the direction is so strong.
So it's one of those twists that even if it's kind of jarring, it sticks with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
And I've always really admired Lonergan's willingness to take those kinds of risks.
Yeah.
Like, he's not afraid to push the audience a bit, make them think.
Totally.
And it makes you wonder, is this twist his way of, like, messing with our assumptions, not just about celebrity, but about family, too, and the secrets we keep?
It's wild, right? This whole play, it's like making us rethink what we expect. Not just from, like, the plot, but from Adam Driver himself.
Totally. It's like, think about it. We always see him just, like, explode on screen, all that raw energy.
Exactly.
But here, it's all about holding back. It's in the quiet moments where you really feel it.
It's almost like, because it's not what we expect, it's more powerful somehow, more real.
100%.
What do you think?
I think you're right. It's like we're getting this glimpse into how this guy's really feeling, the grief, the doubt, all of it.
Yeah. And, like, having to deal with being Adam Driver on top of it all.
Right. It's not flashy or anything, but it hits you
It
hard.
makes you wonder if Lonergan's saying something about, like, what it means to be a man, too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like the old idea of a man's man. Always got to be on, in control. But then there's strings, and he's, what, vulnerable, trying to figure things out.
It's like he's challenging all those expectations.
Yeah.
And in doing that, it's actually more honest,
Right.
about what guys go through.
Right. So it's not just about, like, a country music star and his problems.
So
It's bigger than that.
way bigger.
It's about, like, who we are, family, those moments where we all have to face the music, even when it's quiet.
Exactly. And maybe that's what it all comes down to, Sometimes those quieter stories, the ones that don't shout, those are the ones that stick with you.
The ones that make you leave the theater thinking, wow, Adam Driver.
Yeah. Like I never knew he had that in him.
Exactly.
It's a good reminder that there's always more to discover,
How bad?
both in the stories people tell and like the people themselves.
Yeah. So, for anyone listening who's now kind of intrigued by this whole quiet Adam Driver thing, what's, like, the one thing you hope they take away from this?
I hope they come away curious about how much power there is in telling a story or like giving a performance where it's not all about being loud or over the top.
Don't be afraid of a little quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to really sit with those stories that unfold slowly. You might be surprised at how much you feel.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
And on that note, folks, we'll leave you to ponder Hold On to Me, Darling, and what it means for Adam Driver to, well, not explode on stage for once.
Yeah.
Maybe less really is more, huh? This has been your deep dive, everybody.